daddies at?
Okay, listen, I know I'm super late to this, but hear me out, okay? Basically, there's this clip that went viral of this dad trying to feed his child, right? He bought his son McDonald's. Now, the mom is super mad because he only bought McDonald's for his son. And this woman actually has 4 children. The other 3 are not his kids, right? So she went and slept with some other guys, right? So basically, the debate is, should the dad feed all her children or only his child, which he has responsibility for? Not much of a debate, to be honest. Like, I feel like I would only feed my child, right? Why would I feed your other random children? But this clip went viral, and then she also had a response to the whole thing, which is really bad. Like, it's actually horrible. So let's take a look.
You know I don't get my food stamps to the 7th.
Lisa, how is that my problem?
But if you're trying to help out, though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
Lisa, you have
Them are his siblings, though.
Okay, so right off the bat, I see a lot of suspicious things, right? Basically, the family appears to be on food stamps, or at least she appears to be on food stamps, right? So she can't feed her children, which is definitely not a good thing at all, especially considering that this woman, as I saw from the other clip, and you'll see as well, that she has money for her eyelashes, her nails, and all her makeup, but doesn't want to buy food for her kids and instead relies on the fathers to buy food for their kids. And then this guy brings up a pretty good point later on as well. He's like, why do you expect me to pay for the rest of your children when you can ask the rest of the fathers or pay yourself, you know? Like, why is it his responsibility to take care of something else? You made the children, right? What are you talking about? I absolutely love her logic here, just makes zero sense. Like, them are those siblings though, or something. Like, how is it his fault that you went and got pregnant with other men, right? How is it his fault? Like, he will only provide for his child. Like, he doesn't have any responsibility towards whatever the other shit you've been doing, okay?
He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings, and they're not eating on McDonald's.
Bring
No,
him out.
why do I gotta put...
Bring him out to the car. I'll let him eat.
No. He's not finna eat that shit at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
Okay, so at this point you start to realize if the mom actually cares about the children, right? So a real mom, you know, a mom who actually cares about her children, would just want her kids to eat. Even if one of them gets to eat, she will try to get them the meal, right? But she's rejecting the entire meal here because the dad isn't feeding all of her children, which is a messed up thing to do. At least one of them gets to eat, right? Now, another thing I noticed is she's using a lot of manipulation tactics, like, oh, you're really just gonna bring food for one kid and then the other kids are gonna watch them eat and then they're not gonna be able to eat. Like, it's not his responsibility. Now, not to mention, he gives a pretty good out, like, you know, bring them outside, I will feed my son in the car, right? Or somewhere away where the other kids can't see. Like, okay, if he has enough money, I mean, sure, you could argue that, okay, he should be bringing the rest of the kids the food, but also, it's just not, he doesn't have to do it. It's not something that he's obligated to do.
So you telling me that I gotta bring, so when I bring my son food, I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other. You had them other kids. They were your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all.
You know, my favorite part about this clip is how she completely shuts up when he asks, where are the other fathers at, right? Where are the other daddies at? Also, I don't know if you ever had like a negotiation class in school, but if you're on the back foot and you're asking someone to do something, you don't really call them dumb and just completely berate them. That makes them less likely to do what you want, okay? Also, just breaking down what she said there, it makes no sense at all. If you're gonna feed one of them, you gotta feed them all. No, I just gotta feed the people I care about and the people I have a responsibility to. I have no responsibility towards anybody else, like outside my family or what I created, apparently.
How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's?
So
you know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Okay, honestly, disregarding the million questions I have about how the situation even came about in the first place, like that you can't afford to feed your kids, like I'm pretty sure there's a whole backstory to that as well. But disregarding all of that, just looking at this situation as it is, I don't think the guy's in the wrong at all. I mean, you can let me know what you think, but I feel like it's pretty plain and simple obvious. Okay, so there we have the context to the clip, right? Now we have this other part where she responds to the whole situation, and And maybe she brings up some good points, right? Maybe, definitely.
I'm the baby mama who was upset at her baby daddy because he only decided to give his child.
Okay, I'm really sorry for the quick interruption here, but what is this terminology, okay? I never learned this in English class. Baby mommy, baby daddy? What happened to mom and dad? Like, is that just a way to, like, skirt past any responsibilities at all? Like, there is no mom and dad, no mother and father ever anymore. It's just baby mommy, baby daddy, I'm his baby. Like, what even is going on? You're like, how many people is she dealing with over here? Is that just like the terminology people use who have multiple relationships, multiple babies? I feel like it's just a toxic thing to do, to be honest, especially if your kids are on flipping food stamps. Also, how are they on food stamps when your eyebrows are done perfectly, your lashes are done, you got something on your lips, you got the nails? Like, why isn't that money being used to purchase a McDonald's meal for your kids? This is just pissing me off. Like, this is just poor money management. Like, listen, I just don't understand how you can possibly justify yourself getting all of this stuff done when your kids are starving. That just makes you a horrible, I was gonna say mother, but I don't know, baby mommy. Okay, dude, I don't know.
Because he only decided to give his child McDonald's and not the rest of my other 3 kids. I have 4 kids. Our child is the youngest child. So keep that in mind before y'all make me the villain. That means all my other kids knew him. He was buying the McDonald's when we were together.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is a complete plot twist. A Game of Thrones season 55 right here, okay? Because that changes the situation completely. She didn't actually cheat on him, guys. These were previous relationships. Oh yeah, so again, the question remains the same. Where are the previous daddies at? Why can you still not provide for your children? Also, I don't know why I have to explain this, but that doesn't mean anything. The fact that he was feeding them before. Yeah, because you were in a happy relationship before, apparently, right? And it is completely his choice to withdraw what he was doing out of courtesy then, right? That there wasn't any contract, that he didn't sign any, like, vows over there. Like, he didn't get married being like, I'm gonna protect you and your kids forever or something. Like, there was nothing like that. It was just because you're in a relationship, you're probably living in the same household, and the kids were running around. He's like, all right, I gotta provide for these kids. And he was willing to make that, you know, responsibility, make that sacrifice for, I don't know how much dollars or whatever, to take care of your kids. But now that the relationship is off, right, and you've moved on to somebody else, I don't know how many people we got going on over here, baby mama just out here, you know? But yeah, still, like, I just genuinely don't understand how it's still his fault. Like, just everybody's fault except yours. All the daddies, right? Just take responsibility for once in your goddamn life, especially with your flipping makeup on, but you can't buy your kids McDonald's. Jesus Christ.
My kids have to go through a transition of our breakup as well. Like, yeah, me and you broke up, but my kids gotta feel it too. So now my kids have to see only one of their siblings get McDonald's and not the rest of them, and they know it's coming from you because, of course, like, me and you used to be together. They used to see you. You used to do it for them. But now,
I mean, again, don't know what you're talking about. Are we just gonna ignore the fact that he presented a perfectly logical solution to the problem? He said, you know, you can bring the child out and, you know, he's gonna feed him in the car or, like, in a room, like somewhere where the other kids can't see. That's a perfectly logical explanation there, right? I don't know why you're bringing up the same argument. Probably because you have nothing to fall back on.
you don't want to do that for them anymore. Like, to me, that's petty. That's petty. Like, it's not fair. Like, you're not finna give one child McDonald's and not all the other kids McDonald's. Like, I'm not going. And then on top of that, you mean to tell me you can dib and dab and want to do it sometimes, but yet you can't feed all my other kids McDonald's, though? That's what you mean to tell me? Like, I'm not going for that. I'm going to stand on what I said, and I don't care what everybody else have to say about it. Y'all could judge me. Oh, well, I could be the villain, but I said what I said. Like, if you can't bring everybody McDonald's, then can't nobody have McDonald's.
Okay, just for understanding the situation a little bit better, let's ignore the entire argument. Ignore everything that happened, and just think about this from the mother's perspective. I have a choice. Do I feed one child, or do I feed 0 children? I will feed 0 children because my ego is massive. You're talking about being petty? I think feeding your children is the top priority of everything, okay? It doesn't matter if you have to grovel on your feet for it. If you get to feed your children, that's a huge plus. Again, I can't look at her face with all this stuff done and be okay with what's happening here. This is just so messed up. Listen, I don't know, man. Why do the worst people in the world become moms and dads, bro? Imagine this one was your mom, right? What would you do? Like, you had the choice to get a McDonald's from your dad. I mean, obviously the kid's gonna go for it, but imagine how mad you'd be when you figure that out when you grew up, that your mom just denied you meals because her ego was so flippin' massive, dude. Listen, in my opinion, the mom's 100% in the wrong. I don't see how you could justify it any other way. Let me know what you think. Bye-bye.